Hey everybody, it's Tuesday. We're gonna talk about new games while I drink this beer, cause gotta celebrate. I'm getting my second vaccine today. Figured I'd go on a little turn. You know, I think being drunk when you get the vaccine is the preferred way to do it, right? It's probably good for you. Anyway, bottoms up. Mmm. Oh, I gotta get Jenny Lewis to bless this. Okay, top game of the week is Miitopia coming out on Switch. This originally showed up on 3DS back in 2017. RPG where you make the characters out of the Mii's. You remember the little Mii's from the Wii and the 3DS? And I guess there's some on the Switch, but you don't really see them that often anymore. Anyway, this is a whole game made up of them doing crazy shit and going on adventures, and you can like make the main villain somebody who you know, like your I don't know, your science teacher who said you would be a nobody. Well, look at me now. I'm drinking beer on a Tuesday morning, wearing a Star Wars t-shirt, talking about video games. Who's a loser? Not this guy. What else do we got here? Let's see. Just Die Already. That is coming out on PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Switch, Xbox One, and the Series X and S. It is a sandbox game made by the guys or the people who did Goat Simulator. This is like old people simulator. You're kicked out of a nursing home and you gotta go fucking wreak havoc around town, and everybody just wants you to die because you're old and nobody cares about old people. So that's the kind of point of this game. Very funny premise. Check it out. Next we have Mind Scanners coming to PC. Not a loser. This guy, a success. That's coming to PC. It's an indie title. Kind of looks like Papers, Please. You're like scanning people's brains, trying to figure out what what they're sick with. It's like you're like a doctor in like a dystopian future or something. I don't know. It looks okay. I might check it out. You should probably check it out too. Next, we have a Xbox One exclusive called The Wild at Heart. This looks like an indie version of Pikmin, where you're playing these two little like cute tween kids with art style that looks like every other Cartoon Network indie game thing out there. It's coming to PC, Xbox One, and the Series X and S. Um, if you're a 13-year-old girl, this might be right up your alley. So, shout out to all the 13-year-old girls watching this. I guess. I think my median fan age is like 42, so that's what I'm gonna go with. Finally, the last big title this week is Knockout City, which is a dodgeball multiplayer game, but it's like extreme dodgeball where you're like fucking throwing the ball all fucking hard and shit at people, and like the graphics look like Fortnite and Splatoon, the fucking sickest games ever made. So Knockout City gonna be just as fucking sick, bro. Yeah. Make sure you bring some Modelos when you play Knockout City with your besties. Hey computer, be quiet. Can you hear that? It's very loud. Sorry. What's next? Ports and re-releases. Here we go. Days Gone is coming to PC. That was on PS4. It's supposed to be okay, I guess. I never played it. It looked kind of shitty. What else? Oh, the new Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Don't Dry, is coming out on PlayStation 4, Switch, and Xbox One after being on PC for about a year or so. And then we have Void Terrarium Plus Plus. That's coming to PS5. Indie title. R. I don't know. No, it's not an RPG. It's like some kind of a side-scrolling thing. Fuck, dude. Uh, it was on like Switch and PC. Now it's coming to PS5 with 4K HDR. Yeah. It wants me to do something, but Geralt. I just like looking at Geralt with no shirt on, so we'll just keep it on that. And the next port, Jay and Silent Bob Mall Brawl, is a NES-looking brawler game, kind of like Double Dragon, coming to PS4 and Xbox One. Manifold Garden, which is like you're playing a game in an MC Escher painting, is coming to PS5. Heard it's very good. Haven't tried it yet. Last port, Rust, the console edition, is coming to PS4 and Xbox One for all of you survival, post-apocalyptic survival fans out there who like multiplayer games. Expansions, Elite Dangerous Odyssey. Cool. Everything else, Archaea New Dimension Rhythm Game is coming to Switch. Essays on Empathy coming to PC. Aerial Knights Never Yield coming to PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Switch, Xbox One, and Series X and S. Mayhem in Single Valley is coming to PC. And finally, Of Bird and Cage is coming to PC for all of you Evanescence fans out there. Notable titles. 10 years ago, we got The Witcher 2, the sequel to The Witcher. It continues the story of Geralt of Rivia, as he is falsely accused of assassinating the king. And he must work with a couple of people, Triss and Roche. Vernon Roche, I think that's his name. Anyway, he's got to work with them to try to clear his name and find the actual murderer, which he witnessed. So they're looking for him. A bunch of stuff happens. There's some titties. It's good. It's a good game. You should check it out, especially if you like Geralt with no shirt. Ooh, and titties. Titties are all right. 20 years ago, Red Faction came out on the PlayStation 2. It's kind of one of those franchises that, like, for me, it always just kind of sits in the background. Like, it's like, oh, Red Faction, a new one's coming out. Okay. I don't really know a lot about it, and I don't really kind of care what it is. It's just kind of there. So this Just Kind of There game series started 20 years ago on the PlayStation 2. And, yeah, like, I think a remaster of one of them came out a couple years ago. In fact, I think it was the top release during the July 4th weekend in, like, 2018 or 2019. One of those years. Yeah, it's a first-person shooter. One of the early ones on the PS2. By this point, there were only, like, 20 or so games on the PlayStation 2. So this wasn't bad, but, I mean, you had stuff like Onimusha out, and, you know, Tekken and Dead or Alive, and those destroyed this. I think even Time Splitters is better than this, but I think the frame rate and the smoothness on Red Faction 2 is better, because I got really sick with motion sickness playing Time Splitters, and I didn't get any of that with Red Faction, so good on them. Finally, 30 years ago, on the Game Boy, we got a game called Go Go Tank, which was developed by a Japanese company called, what were they called? Copia System? I don't know. They changed their name to Shangri-La in 1996, probably because Copia System was fucking stupid. In Go Go Tank, you are an airplane that is you have to pick up blocks and move them so that a tank can drive up these, like, walls or whatever. I don't know. The controls are terrible, and I really didn't like this or have any fun with it, like, whatsoever. I'm only talking about it because I need to talk about something, and I just thought it was it was weird. It's a weird game. If you can find a copy, check it out. It's not available anywhere. So you either gotta, download an emulated version of it or try to find a cart So anyway, this is over 10 minutes long. This might be the longest one I've done. Were you entertained? Hopefully. All right, I'm gonna go.